Maxwell, please, buddy, drop it. You know me. Maxwell, please drop it. You know me, buddy.
I know one of you.
Now at 5 on Connecticut's news station, body cam video shows the tense moments at a home in Bolton that led to an officer-involved shooting. Fox 61's Brooke Griffin went through the Inspector General's report and joins us with what she learned.
And he is charged with manslaughter. The trial of State Trooper Brian North continuing in Milford. Someone tied to this. His car was stolen that led to a police chase. That Lyft driver took the stand, and we will hear from him.
And the results are in from Super Tuesday, further solidifying the front runners in the race for the White House. We'll recap the results and have a look at other races getting a lot of attention.
Fox 61, Connecticut's news station, begins with a Weather Watch alert.
Get ready, folks. More rain is on tap for today. We have a team of meteorologists throughout the morning to have you covered every step of the way. Grateful you're with us at 5. I'm Keith McGilvery.
And I'm Symphony Privet. We hope you're having a great start to your day so far. Let's go ahead and get you straight over to meteorologist Rachel Piscatelli for more on this Weather Watch. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. So we are thinking that we'll pick up close to 1 to 3 inches of rain, which wouldn't be a problem. However, when it's coming down in a short amount of time, this may overwhelm our storm drains and also your basements and things like that. So unfortunately, we have issued this Weather Watch alert for the rain that's on the way, with the heaviest arriving tonight into early tomorrow morning. So if you're heading out the door this morning, you may be saying, well, it's not raining or doing anything at all. So you definitely want to grab that umbrella before you head out the door. However, you won't be needing it until later on today. The impact again will be poor drainage flooding. We'll also watch for those rivers and streams that may become overwhelmed or swollen, in addition to our basements too. Temperatures out there this morning, though, to start off around 47 degrees in New Haven. It's 44 in Hartford. So we're in the 40s now, and we'll remain in the upper 40s to the lower 50s this afternoon in spots. Just back off to the south and the west of us is this system that'll continue to move in our direction. We have some areas of fog out there now, but those precipitation chances continue to increase over the course of the evening. So by 2, 3 o'clock, most of us are dealing with light rain, and by 6, 7 o'clock, it's the heavy stuff that'll arrive. We'll walk you through the hour by hour coming up in just a bit. But getting a check-in on those roads this morning, just want to let you know that there is some road work over in Glastonbury on Route 3 from Main Street to 91. So this is on both sides, the north and the southbound side, from Main Street to the 91 on and off ramps, where we have some road work out there on Route 3. This is not typically out there in the morning, or at least I haven't seen an alert like this, so just wanted to let folks know in the area that that is out there. Although when you're traveling on 91, that looks good. Rocky Hill to Hartford, it's 7 minutes, and Cromwell to New Haven is a nice 23-minute drive. Keith and Symphony, back to you.
All right, Rachel, thank you for that. This morning, there is new body camera video released by the Inspector General's office showing a state trooper shooting a man in Bolton. This is a story we've been following for quite some time.
Yeah, and it's not the first time that trooper had to use force at a scene. Fox 61's Brooke Griffin joining us live at State Police Headquarters with more. Good morning, Brooke.
Hey, good morning to you. This video newly released by the Inspector General's office shows troopers standing just feet away from a man holding not one, but 2 knives in his hands. And this is something that originally came out as a mental health crisis call. So this is what troopers were originally responding to. Now, as you can see in the video on your screen, Trooper Brian Quintana is about 10 feet away from 29-year-old Maxim Nowak. Nowak is holding 2 knives, one of them in a defensive position. Troopers asked Nowak to drop the knives multiple times for several minutes, telling him they will use a taser if he doesn't drop them to the ground. Nowak doesn't listen.
Drop the knife, okay, Maxwell? Drop the knife. Drop the knife, buddy. Come on. Maxwell, please, buddy. Drop it. You know me.
And eventually, he begins twirling that knife. This is when Trooper Quintana fires 7 shots at Nowak. He is still in the hospital today from those injuries. The Inspector General's office has not yet said if the shooting and use of force is deemed justified. We're still waiting for that report. But this isn't the first time Trooper Quintana has been in a position where he had to use force at a scene. In August of 2015, Quintana was dispatched to a scene in Bolton where a South Windsor bank robbery suspect crashed his car during a chase. Reports show when when Christopher Anderson got out of that car. He was holding a razor knife and saying the words, "Shoot me," to troopers. A taser was used, but not effective. Eventually, Trooper Quintana and another trooper fired their guns, hitting Anderson 4 times. Anderson died in the hospital later on. The Inspector General's office deemed that use of force was appropriate. Now, this is the 3rd officer-involved shooting here in Connecticut so far this year, but the Inspector General's office says that this scene that they're currently investigating in Bolton is something that is still active, and we are still waiting on more details. We'll, of course, get those out to you as soon as they release anything. Live in Middletown, Brooke Griffin, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Brooke, appreciate you going through that footage for us. We will see you again at 6 o'clock. 5:05 now in the trial for Connecticut State Trooper Brian North continuing in Milford. He is charged with manslaughter in connection with 19-year-old Mubarak Suleiman's death. Yesterday, we learned more about what happened before Suleiman was killed. Daniel Green, he was the Lyft driver for Suleiman back on January 15th, 2020 in West Haven. He testified that he pulled over after Suleiman demanded to see his phone and hit him in the back of the head.
When I got out of the vehicle, I pulled my pistol and I told him to get out of my car.
You got out of your car and you pulled your gun because you were scared, correct?
Yes, I was.
You were scared for your life?
100%.
Green said Suleiman got into the driver's seat and stole his car, which led to a police chase. Suleiman then crashed into another vehicle, and that's when Trooper North approached and shot Suleiman. The Inspector General said the shooting was not justified. And a reminder, you can count on Fox 61 for all the latest developments in the courtroom. The easiest way to do that, if you're on the go, is downloading the free Fox 61 News app.
5:06 now. We have some new details about a deadly pedestrian crash last year. State police are pointing blame to the victim, not the police officer who hit her. Investigators released their report on the crash in New Britain. Last September, Officer Connor Reich hit Catherine Cologne while he was responding to a call. Now, he did not have his emergency lights on or siren. Investigators found Cologne was under the influence of drugs and alcohol at the time of the crash and was wearing dark clothes. They said Reich would not have been able to prevent that crash. New Britain police tell us they are still conducting their own investigation.
A man convicted of killing a woman in Bristol 4 years ago will be sentenced today. Kevin Bard was found guilty of murder for stabbing Catherine Streeto-Machad in her home on Vance Drive back in December of 2022. Police saying the two were long-term partners, but Streeto-Machad had a restraining order against Bard. A teen allegedly involved in a larger street takeover in Milford will face a judge today. Police identifying 19-year-old Anthony Deems Jr. as one of the individuals who gathered in a grocery store parking lot in December. One officer was hurt during the takeover. Deems surrendered last month. He's charged with rioting, unlawful assembly, and interfering with an officer. Police tell us they are still searching for other suspects.
Officials in Chaplin are working to figure out what started a fire at a home. Now, this happened yesterday on Old Willimantic Road. Officials say flames broke out at around 6:15. Fire crews say no one was inside and no one was hurt.
All right, I want to take you here to the big board here. These images here, these are pictures from the fire we told you about first yesterday morning at the James Residence Hall right on the campus of Central Connecticut State University. School officials say it could have been far worse if it were not for students who did what they needed to do, pulling that fire alarm. The university says a number of students smelled smoke, saw the flames, and acted quickly. One student recounting the moment they learned about the fire.
We saw these fire trucks behind us and we were like, what is going on? And we got closer and we realized that it was our dorm building. So panic kind of set in because we didn't know where it was until we spoke to an RA.
Kudos to these students for jumping into action. The fire marshal believes an electrical issue is likely what sparked all of this. Some students did stay in a hotel after the fire. Everyone given the all clear to stay in the dorm last night.
The Connecticut Child Tax Credit Coalition is pushing for a permanent refundable child tax credit in Connecticut. Lawmakers will gather with the coalition and advocates for a hearing today. They're asking for a tax credit of $600 per child for up to 3 children. All right, now Connecticut is the only state that taxes a family's income but does not provide them with tax relief to offset the cost of raising children. This is all happening at the Capitol at 9:30 this morning. And 5:10 now, there's some new details this morning about a fire that ravaged a business near Detroit.
Yes, we brought you this video first earlier this week. Here, an aerial vantage point of it all, what officials say started what we see here.
Hundreds of delegates were up for grabs on Super Tuesday. We'll show you how the candidates did as voters cast their ballots.
And if you're flying one specific airline anytime soon, get ready to pay more to check your bags. How much money you'll have to fork over the next time you're not exactly packing light, Miss Privet. We will show you which airline and how much you'll be asked to pay. Stay with us.